in kind of the Rust Belt areas where, the traditional manufacturing has, slowed down, and in a lot of places it's not coming back. We see tech, as a potential solution where people can, get involved. They don't necessarily need to become programmers. They can become managers or designers or user experience.
Shaking the rust off our shoulders. Technology companies are helping reinvent Cleveland. They're filling up old buildings with new businesses and industries in more ways than one. This week, News 5's Tara Molina has been exploring the cool stuff that's being developed right here and what it means for the future of our city.
Yes, it is pretty cool. And today she's introducing us to professional game developer Jared Huntley, who's helping explain why it's all happening right here and building a better land.
It's in your pocket, at your fingertips, and some of it is being developed in your backyard.
We don't really think about it when we download a new app on our iPhone or when we, install a new program or go to a new website. But a lot of those, websites, those apps might be coming from Cleveland, and they just might not know it.
By people like Jared Huntley.
I'm a professional game developer. I founded my studio, Polytundra, here in Cleveland.
This, his company's recent release.
It's a mobile game that teaches people how to make art through puzzles.
Art Club Challenge.
You're given 4 colors and you can only make rectangles and squares, so red, yellow, blue, and black. The point of the game was to kind of encourage people who don't consider themselves artists or don't have an art background to experiment and kind of have that, childlike playfulness in exploring art.
Shapes, colors, and classical music that have become a popular pastime for folks across the globe. Popularity and recognition of games as a form of art landed Huntley's work in the Smithsonian this past year.
My game, Art Club Challenge, was featured in the Smithsonian American Art Arcade. It's an event that the Smithsonian has every year where they feature different games from around the world.
So, why Cleveland?
We have a really vibrant tech scene in Cleveland.
Huntley founded his company here in his hometown, developed and released his game here for a reason, and it's not because he hasn't had opportunities to take his talents west.
We have a lot of culture-related events, great schools, and cost of living super reasonable. And so, especially now with the workforce kind of becoming more remote and more distributed, there's not necessarily the need to work on site in California.
He says the technology scene is burgeoning here in Cleveland for a reason.
One of the benefits is the cost of living in Cleveland, super reasonable. But then on top of that, if you're working remote, you might be able to be, making a West Coast salary but living in Cleveland, and that makes it go that much further.
Cleveland's low cost of living is a big factor. Having an educated workforce to choose from, though, may be more of a challenge.
When you look at all of the places that have gotten new high-tech jobs, they all have higher rates of BA attainment. They all have higher rates of college attainment.
Cleveland is beginning to catch up. Professor Ronald Anglin at Cleveland State's College of Urban Affairs says Northeast Ohio is beginning to see a long-awaited surge in the tech industry here. But it begins with developing high-tech curriculum for students at a younger age.
Helping our young people in schools do better, exposing them to coding, exposing them to the multiple opportunities in the tech sector.
And the word's getting out.
I also work for Microsoft as a civic technology fellow. So we're involved in the Cleveland tech scene and just supporting people getting involved in technology.
For News 5, I'm Tara Molina.